This is CNN 10, a 10-minute down-the-middle explanation of international news and features. I'm Carl Azus. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. We're starting off the week in the largest city of New Jersey, a place where 14,000 households are now being offered bottled water because what's coming out of their taps might have been contaminated with lead. This is a heavy metal. Exposure over time has been linked to heart and kidney problems, high blood pressure, and irreversible brain damage to children, which makes it particularly dangerous for them and pregnant mothers. Doctors say lead is unsafe in drinking water at any level, though the U.S. government allows small amounts of it before requiring action to be taken. Earlier this year, in the tap water of part of Newark, New Jersey, lead levels were found to be more than 5 times the government's limit. An environmental advocacy group says the lead levels here are among the highest in the United States. City and state officials say they're taking steps to address the problem, but residents of Newark say for years their leaders have denied there was one. The city has 2 water treatment plants. It says the water that leaves those plants is lead-free and that the pipes that transport it are too. But Newark says lead can get into the water when it goes through the service pipes that connect water mains to homes. The city says those are owned by individual property owners, and the long-term solution is to replace the service pipes. That would come at a cost of about $1,000 or less per homeowner. In the short term, the city's been giving tens of thousands of lead-safe water filters to those who are affected, but some tests have shown that the water still has higher lead levels than the government allows. Legal action has been taken against Newark, and while all this plays out in New Jersey, the effects are still rippling from a water crisis in Flint, Michigan, years after it was acknowledged.
Every morning, when I get ready to take my shower, still today, and it's been 5 years, when I cut this water on, it comes out brown at the beginning. Did you see that? But overnight, it would be much more, but it's still a little brown. And then this is what I have to take a shower in every day.
Today is our normal Thursday. Hey, sugar, what time did you get here this morning?
About
4 o'clock in the morning?
4. Yeah.
What?
No,
When we tell people we still need, they're like, oh, I thought everything was fine. No, everything is not fine. If it was fine, these people would not be lined up for 2 miles just to get 4 cases of water. Come on so we can get you in, get you out.
2.
Come on, let's be straight up. No one wants to believe that a city could still be in crisis in the United States of America.
We test the water on a regular basis. We're working with the local city as well as the state. We're still providing bottled drinking water to people if they need it, but at this point, the water quality in Flint, Michigan is safe to drink.
Just milk. Got you.
How could it be fine to drink if you're still telling me I need to run my water for 5 minutes every morning?
See, when I take showers, once I get out of showers, I have to rub down in alcohol before I can do anything because it just has you still itching.
Oh, really?
That water got us itching so bad over there, it's a shame.
On my left, they have already picked up their water and their food with the line on my right is we're servicing. There's so many. We have a school that's come in volunteering.
It has affected me. I can't bring my family here and my grandchildren. We have to spend extra money to do the things that we want to do, like a simple bath, for the babies. And that's the thing, when you get used to something, it's kind of like, well, I'm immune to it now. And so it doesn't bother people on a physical level, but mentally, this is what we go through.
10-second trivia. Which of these landmarks is also known as Chomolungma? Mount Everest, the Great Wall of China, Ayers Rock, or Lake Nakuru? Chomolungma, which translates to Goddess Mother of the World, is the Tibetan name for Mount Everest. Hundreds of climbers have died trying to reach the summit or getting back down from the world's highest peak, and the 2019 climbing season, which wrapped up in May, was the deadliest one in 4 years. There were 11 deaths on the mountain this spring. In addition to difficult weather, inexperienced climbers, inexperienced companies that brought them in, and overcrowding on the mountain were all widely blamed for the deaths. In fact, some climbers criticized Nepal for allowing anyone who paid $11,000 to get a climbing permit, although the cost swells to tens of thousands more once you factor in guides and equipment. Nepal is among the poorest countries in the world, and tourism, including those who travel there to attempt Everest, is a major industry. After this year, though, a panel was assembled to discuss the deaths on the mountain. It was made up of government officials, expert climbers, and climbing agencies, and it just recently gave its list of recommendations. Among them are requiring the climbers themselves to have training and experience at high altitudes. They wouldn't be able to get an Everest permit before that. They'd also have to send in a certificate that says they're in good health and good shape, and they'd have to bring a trained Nepali guide with them. The panel also suggests raising the fee to climb Chomolungma to $35,000. There'd be additional rules concerning the tour companies that offered trips to the summit, and a Nepalese tourism official who was interviewed by the Reuters news agency says the government will make the new rules the law of the land.
You've got inexperienced climbers with inexperienced leaders.
Adrian Ballinger summited Mount Everest 8 times and spent 12 years on the mountain. He says the number of people there has steadily increased over time, particularly as tour companies have few requirements for climbers.
There used to be somewhere in the vicinity of about 10 to 12 companies guiding the mountain, and most had years and years of experience. And today, I would guess in Nepal, there's 40 to 50 companies guiding on the mountain, and many of them have come out of nowhere with no experienced leader, but seeing the opportunity of financial gain. There's no barriers to entry to start a company.
The proposed changes suggest requiring minimum qualifications to get a climbing permit, including basic and high altitude training, experience climbing at least one other Nepali peak over 21,000 feet, or 6,500 meters high, and tour companies would need at least 3 years' experience organizing high-altitude expeditions. For expert climbers like Ballinger, who himself owns a tour company that takes climbers to the summit, the proposals may not go nearly far enough, but he says they are a step in the right direction. That is, if they can be executed.
I want to believe it's possible, and I want to find ways to support Nepal and the Ministry of Tourism in implementing these rules, but I think it is going to be very, very difficult. And the companies are the ones who are going to have to actually make these changes. And thus far, we haven't seen the companies that interested in making the mountain safer.
Ultimately, Ballinger says the onus may still fall to climbers to ensure their own safety. A risky proposition on one of the most dangerous ascents in the world. Bianca Nobilo, CNN.
At age 103, Catherine Kitty Hodges said she was not nervous to jump out of a plane.
I'm all set.
Okay.
Whee!
Yeah, she was. 3 generations of her family were there to take the dive with her. And it looks like Kitty Hodges has set a new world record for oldest tandem skydiver. Part of her reason for doing this, she told King TV, quote, "It's fun, so why not have some fun? Hallelujah." Evidence of the jump has been submitted to Guinness World Records so they can verify that this is the record. Don't see how anyone could be contrarian to the centenarian. Some may be weighed down by the gravity of the idea, but Kitty seemed pretty well grounded, and after 103 years, we've all seen ups and downs. Why not take another to new heights? The very idea strikes a ripcord with a lot of people who wouldn't bail on bailing out to air out their soaring desire to fly. I'm Carl Jesus for CNN 10.